Good morning, friends. In the last lecture, we have seen the derivations for depression in the freezing point. In the earlier lecture, we focus on the elevation in the boiling point. These two concepts are very much important. Either the derivation and the numericals will be there based on this particular part. Today, we are going to highlight the another important colligative property, that is a osmosis, or say you can call it as osmotic pressure also. Then first of all, we should know the osmosis. That concept we are studying it from the school level. What is osmosis? It is a common process, occurs in the plant cells, biological membranes, etc. Osmosis is spontaneous process by which the flow of solvent takes place towards the solution or from dilute solution to concentrated solution through the semi-permeable membrane. Example, NaCl solution is placed in one compartment and pure water in the other compartment, which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. The flow of water takes place from water compartment to the NaCl compartment due to the osmosis. See here, what is given, you have to remember this particular part. Osmosis is nothing but the very simple it is. Here the example of NaCl and water is given, that occurs in the particularly plant cell and a biological membrane. It is a spontaneous process by which the flow of solvent takes place towards the solution or from dilute solution to concentrated solution through the semi-permeable membrane. This is called as the osmosis. Now here you can see this is the NaCl solution and the pure water. What will happen? There will be the flow from this particular water to the NaCl solution, means from the dilute solution to the concentrated solution, or from the lower concentration to higher concentration. Then osmotic pressure. It can be defined as the minimum pressure to be exerted on the solution to stop the flow of osmosis when separated from solvent by semi-permeable membrane. Osmotic pressure is nothing but the minimum pressure that to be exerted on the solution to stop the flow of osmosis when separated from solvent by semi-permeable membrane. See, in same example we will take this example of the NaCl solution and the pure water. What happens? NaCl solution, when separated by the water, flow of water takes place towards the solution of NaCl. If the pressure is given on NaCl solution, which is equal to osmotic pressure, then the flow of water will completely stop. Osmotic pressure is a colligative property and is related to the activity of the solvent, or say solute you can call. Then Van Top showed that for the dilute solution, osmotic pressure is directly proportional to concentration of the solution, that is pi is equal to CRT. This is the Van Top equation for osmotic pressure. Pi is equal to CRT. Got this point? What is osmotic pressure? It is a minimum pressure exerted on the solution to stop the flow of osmosis when separated from the solvent by semi-permeable membrane. Got this point? Very simple it is. Then their relation will be given by the Van Tops. Van Top shows that the dilute solution, the osmotic pressure pi, osmotic pressure is denoted by the pi, is proportional to the concentration of the solution. I is equal to CRT. State Van 't Hoff's osmotic laws. There are the two laws. One is the Van 't Hoff Boyle's law and another one is the Van 't Hoff Charles law. Same as earlier, that Boyle's law, the Charles law. What is the Boyle's law? Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And what is the Charles law? Pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. Same law is applicable over here, Van 't Hoff's Boyle's law and Van 't Hoff's Charles law. In that, osmotic pressure varies inversely proportional to volume at constant pressure. And Van 't Hoff Charles law, directly proportional to the temperature. There pi into 1 upon v, that is a pi v is equal to constant. Pi into t, that is pi upon t is equal to constant. These are the two laws which govern this particular osmosis. You got this point. What is osmosis? What is osmotic pressure? Then Van 't Hoff given the correlation between the osmotic pressure and osmotic pressure and concentration of the solution that we have seen. Now then we have come to the next point, that is the two laws we have seen, Van 't Hoff osmotic laws. When first is the Boyle's law and another one is the Charles law. Now derive the Van 't Hoff's osmotic equation by chemical potential method, or derive the Van 't Hoff equation as pi is equal to CRT. Obtain an expression correlating the molar mass of the solid with osmotic pressure. Now we have to see the thermodynamic derivation. We have to consider this diagram. At equilibrium, the chemical potential mu, or free energy per mole of solvent A, will be the same as both side membrane. See here what is given, that see in the diagram you can see in one compartment solvent 1 is there, in the another compartment solution is there. You can see there flow indicator has been shown. In between these two compartments there is a semi-permeable membrane, and you can see here the applied pressure is shown there. One piston has been shown. At equilibrium, what will happen to the chemical potential mu, or free energy per mole G bar of the solvent A, will be the same on the both side of the membrane. Consider. Now what we have to consider? Consider the solvent in the pure solvent compartment is at a constant temperature and is not subject to any pressure change on solute addition. Therefore, d mu A pure solvent is equal to 0. That is, a dGA bar pure solvent is equal to 0. The solvent in the solution compartment 2 is at a constant temperature but subject to addition of solute and a pressure change. The free energy change as a result of change in mole fraction of the solvent, assuming ideal behavior, will given as RT d ln x1 due to pressure change dP. The free energy change is VA dP. VA is partial molar volume of A. For this solvent in the solution compartment, the total change is given by dGA is equal to VA dP plus RT ln XA. RT d ln XA. At equilibrium, dGA is equal to 0, that is VA dP is equal to minus RT d ln XA. On integrating the above equation between the limits XA is equal to 1 to XA and pressure P initial to P final, then VA will be the constant. P integration starting from P initial to P final, dP is equal to minus RT, integration starting from XA1 to XA d ln RXA. It will gives you here, it will be the simply the P, and this will be only the ln X. That's why P final minus P initial is equal to minus LT ln XA. The excess pressure is a osmotic pressure pi. We know XA is equal to 1 minus XB. For dilute solution, XB is very small as compared to 1. Therefore, ln XA approximately equal to minus XB. Therefore, VA into pi is equal to RTXB. Instead of this P final minus P initial, we have taken the pi, and here minus ln XA will be equal to minus XB, and that's why minus minus become plus. VA pi is equal to RTXB multiplying by NA. Now we are going to multiply by the NA on both sides. NA VA bar pi is equal to RT NA XB. NA VA pi is equal to RT NA into NB divided by NA plus NB. For dilute solution, we know NA plus NB is equal to NA. Therefore, NA VA bar pi is equal to RT NA into RT NA NB divided by NA. NA will get cancel, then NA VA pi is equal to RT NB. Let V is equal to N1 means NA VA bar. That's why pi is equal pi V is equal to RT NB, and pi is equal to NB by V into RT. NB by V is nothing but the C, therefore pi is equal to CRT. C is the concentration in terms of mole per liter of the solution. You want this particular part, what we have did, we have considered this particular compartment, then we have at equilibrium chemical potential or the free energy per mole of the solvent will be same on the both sides that we have considered. Then we have considered that the solvent in the pure solvent compartment is at constant temperature, that is a mu dA pure solvent is equal to 0 and dGA bar is pure solvent is equal to 0. Then solvent in the solution compartment 2 is at constant temperature but subject to addition of the solid, and a pressure change, the free energy change as a result of change in XA mole fraction of the solvent, assuming ideal behavior, will be given as RTD ln x1 due to the presence pressure change dP. The free energy change will be the VA by dP, where VA is the partial molar volume of A. For the solvent in the solution compartment, the total change is given by dGA bar is equal to VA dP plus RTD ln XA. At equilibrium, dGA is 0, that is VA dP is equal to minus RTD ln XA. You have to integrate this equation. After integrating, VA P final minus P initial is equal to minus RT ln XA. Then you have to substitute for the XA. XA is 1 minus XB for dilute solution. XB is very small, that's why ln XA is equal to minus XB, and therefore VA into pi is equal to RT XB. Multiplying NA to both sides, then you will get the equation pi is equal to CRT. Please go through this step, very simple, very in detail. It is given, very simple. It is, you have to prove that pi is equal to CRT. How we can say that pi is equal to become CRT, means osmotic pressure is related to the concentration of the solution. Please practice it, please write it again, then and then only it will be the very simple one. Otherwise there will be the difficulties in that particular derivation. Please practice, when daily practice it. We are explaining daily the small part of the unit. Please prepare this part well, then and then only you can cover whole the unit well. Thank you.